Welcome everyone. I must say that I'm thankful to all of you for taking out time for your business schedule to attend this meeting. The agenda of today's meeting is the recent CBSA decision to change the learning and development strategy so that is more aligned with the company goals, compliance requirements, and the needs of the workplace. Today meetings, we want to review the strategy that has been dropped for the company so that we can integrate your feedback in the strategy and address any issues that are present in the strategy before it is implemented and finalized. The meeting will be covering aspects such as compliance and implementation, IT infrastructure, and operational feasibility to get the start on the strategy. I deeply I deeply encourage all of you to share your insight on the strategy so that we can develop an efficient and effective strategy. Let's start with a brief overview. So, the learning and development strategy that we have dropped has been designed based on keen consideration of accessibility, flexibility, and compliance and requirements. We have decided to use a blended learning approach in the strategy so that the employee can access the training resources physically as well as through online training so that we can accommodate our remote worker as well. We will also be making use of a learning management system through which we will track the progress of the training on each individual and ensure that the training remain compliant with all legislation. We have also included individual workplace health and safety training. So that's our legal standard are upheld at each instant. Each employee will be receive a tailored role-specific training which will be targeted toward each employee will be receive a tailored yes, engage and skill level in the organization. The managers will be encouraged to participate in the training to improve employee development outcome. Firstly, let's discuss how we have aligned this element with the compliance requirements.
So, in terms of the compliance perspective, the training program has to be following the legal and regulatory requirements mentioned in Workplace Health and Safety Act, Fair Work Act, and the industry specific code of practice. The learning and development strategy includes a compliance training which ensures that the program is compliant with the WHS. We have also ensured that the training resources can be accessed by the entire workforce, even if individuals have additional specific needs. Lastly, we have encouraged managers for training so that professional standards can be integrated in the training process. The only issue we currently have is that only 40% employees have the WHS certification, although we have to achieve 60% by next Friday. So we really need to be discussing strategies to increase the compliance rate.
That's an important concern to address before the training starts. So, we propose that we include mandatory session and a completion tracking system on the LMS so that we can fill the compliance gap.
That is a great idea. So we can also introduce an automatic reminder for employees and managers so that can complete their task within the deadline.
I want to be next, so from an implementation perspective, I suggest we follow a few steps. It would give us a structured approach. We should firstly develop e-learning modules in alignment with the WHS clauses, which mostly include quizzes and case studies so that employees can actively engage with the training resources. We can then set deadlines against the modules so that the employees get motivated and reminded to complete the training modules. Otherwise, it is likely that employees would procrastinate and take the training slowly at their own pace. The third step, which I believe is important, that we also introduce peer learning and mentorship so that the new employees who were hired can gain help through their on-job experiences. The fourth step is to involve the manager in the training program so that their guidance can help groom employees, leading towards a strong foundation for professional development. Lastly, we can gather feedback from employees regarding the training program so that we can refine our approach and content further. Do you think we can implement this approach in the company? What about workload? We are already very concerned about the load of work employees. Have they started to become overwhelmed? Can we just integrate training into their regular working hours instead of adding further sessions? Yes. In fact, this is a very good idea. We can make use of micro-learning with the daily jobs and responsibilities of the workforce. So like 5 to 10 minutes of training, which is short, and can also be done through team meetings.
As that has been settled, for the rollout, I think we further need to consider a few points from the IT systems that we have. The LMS needs to have a user-friendly platform so that each employee can easily use and access the software for the training, and also advise that the system should be integrated with the HR software used by CSBA as well. I suggest that the LMS should have remote accessibility features so that our employees who work from home or other regions can also access the training material for their growth and professional development. I have made sure meanwhile that we have dedicated IT team that can resolve issues related to the LMS whenever required and needed, so that there are no disruptions during the training. One thing of concern is that remote employees might not have internet connectivity in most cases, so we can also include offline learning capabilities options where employees can download resources from the web and complete their training without using the internet.
That is a good concern and an even better solution for the problem. However, as the employee reconnect to the internet, can the IT automatically sync the data of the employee so that we can track their progress accordingly?
Yes, in fact, I suggest that we implement a cloud-based storage which can also auto-sync with the progress of the employees.
Is me?
So based on the business goals of CBSA, I suggest that the training should be focusing on improving the efficiency and productivity of our workforce, as it has recently been observed to be stagnant. I also want a dedicated approach towards employee retention so that we can actually retain some of our best talent in the company. I suggest that we make use of career development opportunities with their job roles, which will motivate them to stay with us. Also, we have to increase compliance so that we can reduce chances of any legal risk. KPIs would be useful method to track completion, engagement and performance improvements of employees within the training.
Is me? Sure, that is a great point. We can measure the return of investment of the training from this method. I suggest a quarterly progress review so that we can evaluate the strategy. As everyone has spoken, I recommend that we finalize the learning and development strategy based on your suggestion. However, as I close this meeting, I want to ask whether you have any question or further additional concern regarding the strategy that we need to address.
What about certification for the training program? It would be like an incentive to attract and motivate employees to completing their training courses.
From this aspect, I also suggest gamification of the entire training program. We could offer employees with badges, leaderboards, and even rewards, which would motivate employees into participating within the training program. And cross-departmental training too, so that we can improve interdepartmental collaboration.
Oh, great idea. So we can also make use of job shadowing in the strategy.
Thank you.
Thank you for the productivity you all display in the discussion.
Let's see.
So next,
Okay.
oh yes, it's you.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Thank you for the productivity you all displayed in the discussion. So next, the HR and IT department need to finalize the LMS. The training team needs to introduce WHS refresher models. Compliance team needs to introduce a tracking and reporting mechanism. The HR also needs to integrate personalized learning paths, and we can review the strategy after a period of 3 months.
Oh, can you please finalize the strategy and update the documents as well?
Will do, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.